moving storms is what we're dealing with here. Very strong thunderstorms, the potential to produce tornadoes. One is confirmed right now. These are these little embedded cells along the squall line. We call them a QLCS, just a little spin up that occurs. They happen really quick there. And so we've got the confirmed one. I got to admit, the circulation for the one on the south wind actually looks better than the one on the north wind there, but both of them are definitely showing some of that. Adam, what do you say over there with that southern storm east of Chatham?
You know, you were talking about that storm being a little bit more impressive, Kevin, and I do agree. It's now crossing along I-55 on the other side of Chatham, closer towards New City and just north of Pawnee. With the speed these storms are moving at 80 miles per hour, again, that's really fast, and the radar is having a hard time giving us new information so we can talk about it, and it's a hard time to put out warnings too as well. So take these tornado warnings seriously. It's not one of those, oh, I have time. No, you got to get going here. You got to keep it moving here. We do have that northern storm there towards Sherman, or just to the other side of Sherman there. You'll see that north of 72 all the way to Illiopolis and Mechanicsburg. There is the confirmed tornado warning there. Again, that doesn't look quite as impressive as what it does down toward the south. And Kevin probably noticed this, or probably noticed it too, is that when we have these long lines of storms and we get these rotations, sometimes they look really good for a couple seconds and then they start to look really weak and they go back and forth here. That's how we get these little spin up tornadoes here along these lines, these QLCS lines of storms. Again, that Chatham storm on the other side of Chatham, the green to red is what we're watching out for. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit closer to New City and Pawnee right now. So, like I said, don't take these with a grain of salt. Take them seriously. You got to make sure you are going to your safe space, making sure you have all the things you need for your safe space. This storm is moving pretty quick, along with the tornado threat too. We have already seen some spots there with some strong wind gusts as well here, knocking branches down out in the far western corners of our viewing area. So this storm is not just giving us tornado potential, but also the straight line winds as well, which a lot of people take for granted. Those can also cause damage too as well. So again, there's a new update, and you can see already past New City and Pawnee, that rotation moving closer towards Kincaid and Edinburgh too as well here. Not quite as impressive up to the north where they did have that tornado warning that for the confirmed tornado. That's not quite as impressive on radar in my eyes, but down to the south, that secondary one, that's the one we're going to watch too, as well as the rotation looks a little bit tighter on that storm. Kevin, what do you have for us?
All right, I tell you, there are just, I cannot believe how many areas are currently under a warning right now. Let's show you this map here. They just issued new warnings all the way up into Ford County now. Okay, that storm is still, 50 miles from you because it's moving so fast they've had to issue it. So let's look at all the counties under warning. Severe thunderstorm warnings there for Gibson City, Paxton, for Pontiac, Bloomington, for Clinton right now, Decatur, and then you stretch your way down here, Girard, Hillsborough, that whole area. Severe thunderstorm warning. Now, you may see these other colors here. The red, tornado warning, that is radar indicated, but the purple is confirmed. That is observed. They've actually had somebody spot this, and so that is going to be with our storm here that's going to be riding right along I-72 at this point. Also out there in the control room, and if anybody's in touch with Jacob, who should be out in the storm tracker, let us know. You can tell me in my ear if he's back there anywhere to give us a report, to let us know. Is he on? Is he with us? Okay, if we want to pull up Jacob, where are you at? Give us a report, your location and what you're seeing.
Hey Kevin, we are at the Niantic exit on Interstate 72. We're staying a little bit ahead of these storms. I want to show you. Remember all that haze and smoke? Visibility is not that great from this far away. Sometimes we can see those storms really well. They are moving very quickly as well. As you've mentioned, 70 to 80 mile an hour forward speed. And in no time, they'll be on top of you. We're starting to get a little bit of light rain at our location here. But our plan is probably, Kevin, we'll have a lot of the rear view camera being used because we want to stay ahead of these storms through at least the Decatur area and to the east side before we let them overtake us and see what's going on inside. As far as damage reports go, I have not seen anything. I will say this, I don't know if you guys have noticed, we did get an upgrade to a level 4 moderate risk for the damaging winds. the tornado threat, as you know, as serious as it is here, a lot more folks, in fact, most everyone, about to take a good blow from this wind bag that's moving on through the area. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. We're probably going to sit here a little longer, evaluate things, and then backtrack east on I-72. We will keep you updated with any reports we have. Live in the Storm Tracker outside of Niantic and Macon County, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Back to you.
All right, Jacob, thanks for the report. Those storms are racing. I'm getting a real good signature now on the storm down south of Edinburgh. Take a look at this, where we've got these reds and greens are right next to one another. Right there is where we've got, I think, a really good indicator of a possible tornado with this. And this is going towards Taylorville. I'm just going to tell you right now, between Kincaid to Taylorville, this is the rotating part of the storm right here, and this is going to be diving to the south and to the east. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, you need to be in your tornado safe spot if you are in Taylorville, Kincaid, all of those locations. You have that potential. There's a really good indicator on the radar that I think we might have a tornado right now between Edinburgh and Kincaid. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here, and when we look at it on radar, it is definitely showing a really good signature that storm could be producing a tornado as we speak. So we've got that storm there. They've actually dropped. So the only tornado warning is now this one storm here. They dropped the other one that was confirmed earlier up near Riverton. And so now the storm that we're definitely concerned about that has that tornado potential is going to be between Edinburgh and Kincaid, and it is racing to the south and east. You don't have the normal amount of time that you normally have to take shelter with these, so you got to go now. I know you think that usually you get a lot more time, but these things are kicking to the east. And let me see the latest movement on this. They've slowed down a little bit, but still at 50 miles per hour. So there's your rotating thunderstorm that is diving to the south and to the east. Some of these taking a little bit of a turn. These are also going to be what we call rain wrapped, where you're not actually going to be able to see like a funnel. Difficult to kind of pick out structure in the sky. And again, looks like a new tornado warning just got issued. Another one for just south of that. And that's going to be into Montgomery County there, it looks like. So 2 tornado warnings now. And again, these don't last very long because they're moving so fast. I'm just going to keep showing the velocity because that's the best indicator to be able to see kind of where some of that rotation is. And so this is moving to the southeast. Kincaid, Sharpsburg, Taylorville, all of you just be in your tornado safe spot, because these storms are moving so fast that you barely have time to react. And we can kind of see that when we look at just the radar loop here. I'm going to put that loop on this storm, and you can see where the reds and greens are next to one another, just how fast those are moving. So get to your tornado safe space right now. Tornado warning in effect there for Christian County, as you can see. And then the other one that they just issued, just south of that, is down here into Montgomery County. It's going to include, just close to Assumption, but definitely the Pana area. I guess that doesn't quite get into Montgomery County, does it? I guess it's just kind of clipping it there into southern Christian County. So that's what we're looking at here, Taylorville to Pana with these storms. What are you seeing over there right now, Adam?
Aside from a very long line of severe weather here, of severe storms, stretching all the way, the warning stretching all the way from Livingston County down to the south as well here. So this is one of those where we're seeing these embedded rotations as well. But this is going to be one of those where we just have a long period of the afternoon where we were contending with not only the tornado threat like we're doing right now, but also we're contending with the threat of the straight line winds gusting up to about 70 miles per hour here for some of these storms. And you can see, again, Kevin has mentioned this, but I'm going to mention it again because this is a wide swath of storms stretching all the way from northern Pontiac there, just north of Pontiac and north of Lexington, northern Livingston County, all the way down to Hillsborough in the south. east portion of our southwest portion of our viewing area. I mean, we're seeing this all start to move this way. Decatur now a part of those warnings too as well. And so we're seeing these windy storms come through. Jacob described them pretty well, wind bags coming through, but now they're having little spin ups too. That's where the tornado warnings come in. We have a new tornado warning just popped up there, right there, just along south of Bloomington. Normal there. I would say that is DeWitt County right there and parts of Logan County as well. So we're going to start to move into some of these tornadoes too. New one for them. New warning for them too as well.
To DeWitt County and Logan County as well. Clinton, so there it is, popping up here. This is the brand new one. Again, that's just coming out. This does include Clinton and Waynesville. Jacob, is Jacob out there? Jacob, what do you got? Go, Jacob.
Hey, Kevin, we decided to drop south a little bit from 72 to get a view here. Looking in front of us is Mount Auburn. There's another little circulation that popped up kind of there. I think we're going to see that with this whole line all the way across. We're straight line winds for everyone in these circulations in front. A lot of motion on this base here and a lot of rising motion, so concerned that we may see some more spinning up on this one. This is going to be an event where I think at this point we need to treat all severe thunderstorm warnings as if they could produce a tornado, and the wind damage as well going to be a concern for this as well here. So I wanted to let you know we're kind of getting down here and going to see what happens. There certainly is some rotation there in front of me that you're looking at, Kevin. We'll keep you updated and to keep a close eye on things here outside of Mount Auburn. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jacob. So he's just outside of Mount Auburn, so he's going to be a little bit more on this southern storm that's down here. Here's the thing. This new tornado warning that just got issued here for DeWitt County, tornado warning in effect, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Beeson. We're 9 miles east of Lincoln, moving east at 65 miles an hour. Jacob, do you have something there? Bring him back up. Jacob, you got a funnel cloud maybe? What do you got?
Yeah, Kevin, right in front of us here is a strong area of rotation. It's this little bitty notch here near Mount Auburn. I think a tornado warning will be coming out any moment with this. Seeing definite rotation with this storm as it's moving through. At times we've seen little fingers and appendages coming down here. So this is going to be a big concern now for the south side of Decatur as it moves off there. Wanted to give you that update. You can see it looks like a little triangle or a cone hanging down there. Also starting to get some of the wind now. We're going to have to reposition and get ahead of this in the Mount Auburn area. Moving to the east from here, Kevin, we'll send it back to you.
Okay, I'm going to show you where Jacob is at here, so you can see that. See where those reds and greens are? Okay, there's definitely some rotation. He's probably there close to south and west of Mount Auburn, where he's seeing some of that rotation. Right now, there is not a tornado warning on that, but as Jacob kind of said, we're almost treating all of these as potential tornadoes because they're all spinning. This whole line is spinning here. Here's the latest on the tornado warning storm between Kincaid and Sharpsburg. The rotation with that storm located there. We are getting reports of wind gusts. The Springfield airport had a 61 mile per hour wind gust a little bit earlier. So there's a storm there. Here's the rotating storm that Jacob was just looking at. Can we punch up Max 2, please? Max 2, thank you. On Mount Auburn, so I don't know if you guys saw that, so I'll go back through all this again. You can see here, this is the storm. There's Mount Auburn right here, and this was that rotation that Jacob was looking at with that storm. We're going to have to wait and see if he sees anything else. Here's the one. It still has a rotation on it near Sharpsburg, and that's going to be just northwest of Taylorville, and that's going to ride there right along 29 coming towards Taylorville. And then we got to talk about our other storm that's up here south of Atlanta, Waynesville. You guys are under this new tornado warning along with Wapella. You're talking about Clinton right now. Anywhere along this line, you need to be on alert. These storms are moving so fast. They're issuing warnings so fast here to try to keep up. They just issued another one. There's another one now north of Atlanta that they've just issued. So that's going to be coming towards Mount Hope. That's going to include now Hayworth. You guys are under a tornado warning right now. So I know there's a lot of areas that have warnings right now. We're trying to keep up with all of these. They're happening so fast. I just want to show it to you again. If you are in any of the counties in orange right now, you have a severe thunderstorm warning. You have the potential to have winds of 70 miles an hour. In the red boxes, you have the potential for tornadoes to occur. So let's just show some of the cities right now there, including Atlanta, Wapella, Clinton, Hayworth right now, with that storm located there. And the rules moved southward into Christian County, Kincaid to Taylorville, and then the other one here south of that includes Pana, southeastern kind of rural portions of Christian County as well. I know that's a lot. We're going to try to keep up with all of these. They are racing to the south and east, 60, 70 miles per hour. I mean, these things are just absolutely cooking here so fast that the radar is barely kind of keeping up with it, and the National Weather Service is having to be very proactive about issuing these warnings. They're also issuing these based upon these very small signatures in the radar that are saying, I think there could be a tornado with this. If you're in Champaign, if you're in Monticello, Tuscola, Charleston, Mattoon, here's what I'm going to do, because I haven't kind of shown with just how fast these are moving, how this is going to be. Okay. All right, Jacob, what do you got?
Hey, we've got, I mean, this is a violent storm, Kevin. We've got trees coming down.
We've got Jacob there. Obviously, he's in the storm right now. We have sometimes some coverage issues there in terms of a signal. When he continues to come back for us, just let us know, and we'll come back to a shot. He was saying that storm looking pretty violent. Let's see if they've not issued a warning on that just yet. But he's on the storm there, and it looked like he was seeing some trees that were coming down with that. Again, let's see. Jacob, go ahead and go. If you got something, go ahead. Okay, so maybe we'll try to establish his audio here again.
Southwest Decatur. Holy cow.
Jacob, go ahead. What are you seeing? Okay, I don't think he can hear us on the IFB there, so just keep his shot there, just like that. Perfect, guys in the control room. Keep his shot there on the right. We'll stay with him here and just kind of, because I don't think he can hear us. You can see the trees there that are really, really getting blown around. There's some really strong winds coming into Decatur as we speak. I'm going to pull up our Decatur camera, and we can see the dark skies that are coming in. If you're in Decatur right now, get ready. This storm is upon you. You're going to have some really gusty winds. Forsyth, Decatur, coming into Booty, Macon. Right now, severe thunderstorm warning for you guys, and I think that those winds are really ramping up coming into Macon County right now, and all along that entire line there is the potential for a spin-up tornado to occur, and we're kind of seeing, we're going to start to get a little bit better structure on our weather camera here as we watch that storm come in, so we're going to be carefully monitoring that. Jacob is in some really heavy rainfall down there. I think he's southeast of Decatur is where his location is, and he is tracking that storm. Before we kind of lost his audio there, he was telling us really, really strong storm, possibly some trees that were starting to come down over there as well. Again, he's in the thick of it with that storm, and so we're going to possibly have some connectivity issues with him, but we're going to try to get back with him as soon as we can. We've got his picture there, and you can see just how heavy that rain is. All right, he's waving. Jacob, if you can talk, go ahead.
Hey Kevin, this is a serious storm right here. This is one of the stronger storms I've seen in my time. There are easily wind gusts of 70 to 80 miles an hour here. We've watched to the side where trees have been just almost splintering apart from the wind coming on in. The rain is blinding. You do not want to be caught out in the storm here. I mean, there's huge, look at that tree right there. Been taken down and destroyed by this wind. We've also been seeing power flashes, the power infrastructure in the area taking a hit. There are likely to be some scattered to perhaps widespread power outage problems here from these storms moving on through, Kevin. The wind means business. There is corn being flattened next to me by the wind. We're heading to the east, Kevin. These storms moving so quickly, I can't I can't keep ahead of them. So we'll try to get to the Decatur area, have some reports here shortly as we are just south of Harristown on one of the back roads there coming into the southwest side. We'll be coming up on Highway 48 here in just a minute. Live in Macon County, meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Jacob, thank you for the report. We'll stay with him here. We have multiple areas that are experiencing 70+ mile an hour winds, some areas with spin-up tornadoes that are occurring right now. If you are in Clinton, you are minutes away from getting hit. From what I'm looking at on radar, 70+ mile an hour winds. Wapella to Clinton, you go right there down 51. 51 comes into northern Macon County, comes into Maroa, comes into Forsyth, eventually down into Decatur, where Jacob's reporting there on the southwest side. They're kind of south and west of Decatur. This entire line, the leading edge of that, you're going to have 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. Let's come back down to our storms that have tornado warnings associated with them. That's going to be down here into Taylorville, into the Christian County area. If you're in Assumption, if you're in Pana right now, if you're in Moweaqua, all of those locations, get to your tornado safe spot because these storms are just racing to the south and east. And as Jacob was showing you on the camera, or on his camera there, these storms are moving fast and they are furious. I want to show you our Decatur camera. Take a look at this if we can. I want to take this full here because we're starting to get some better structure on that storm coming into Decatur. This is our weather camera in Decatur right now, and you see that right there. Okay, I'm just going to pan this around. This is an area to watch. That's a lowering right there on the base of that storm that we're going to have to watch right there in the center part of your screen. We're looking at the storm coming into Decatur on the west side of town. This would be where possibly a spin-up tornado could occur, and we've got eyes on it with our camera that we're going to watch that very carefully as that storm kind of comes in. And so we'll look for any kind of debris or any kind of dust being kicked up there, right there on the horizon. But we've got a great view of that coming in. If you're in Decatur right now, I know you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, but we almost have to treat this as a tornado warning because of two things. The winds with this could be what would be equivalent to an EF0 or EF1 tornado. And then there are these spin-up tornadoes that are occurring with this as well. So again, all of the storms that you're looking at here will have that potential. It's about to get really stormy in Decatur. It's on the west side of town. It's coming in. Just past through Harristown. You're going to see our camera start to shake quite a bit here with this. I'm getting some radar indications that the winds coming into Decatur, 75 to 80 miles an hour. Jacob, you're coming in there to the southwest side of town. You've got some damage. Show us what you got. Tell us what's going on. He's got, Jacob, if you're there, you can go ahead and talk. If not, I can see the damage.
Hey,
yep, go ahead.
Hey, yeah. Cell service, Kevin, is in and out here. There are some buildings that have been damaged and destroyed in this area in the southwest side of Decatur from the straight line winds. Trees, whoa, that was close. Trees are damaged. This is a very intense thunderstorm, Kevin, with all this damage that we're seeing. And I suspect a lot of buildings from here on out are going to have that problem. Right. If you're looking, we're near Mount Auburn Road and Weichels Road. And, okay,
Jacob, hold on a second. Come back to me here. There's live shot in Decatur right now. Take this full if we can. Look at this coming through right now. I just saw power flashes in Decatur. That is the storm coming through. Look at the rain bands. You can see the rain bands here coming through Decatur right now. Oh, there went our camera. Our camera just got shoved straight up into the sky. I'm going to try to get it back panned down, but it's fighting the winds. You can't. Okay, so there are really strong winds. It just came into Decatur here. I'm going to have to get back off the camera there because literally the winds just shoved our camera back to the sky where we couldn't even see anything. That's how strong those winds are. Adam over there, while I try to position these cameras, Decatur is getting rocked right now with these storms. Power outages are coming in fast and furious. Go ahead, Adam.
This is just from a couple seconds ago, about 30 seconds ago to a minute ago. So I imagine that Macon County, we're going to see this green go to orange, go maybe into red and purple. Sangamon County has had over 9,000 last time I checked, over 50,000 statewide. And in Morgan County, they've seen a lot too as well. Logan, Menard, Cass. And as we've been going through these storms, they've been pushing from the other side of the state, just outside of our viewing area, now into our viewing area. The numbers have been going up exponentially. Not super surprised by that at all. Kevin, what do you have?
I've got our camera back. Here's our Decatur view again. I've got it pointed, but just look at these rain bands roaring across. We can take that photo to give people the perspective here. You can see how strong the winds are, just blowing that storm in on the west side of town and now coming into downtown Decatur, which is where our camera is located. You can get that visual. Look at that. You can just see how strong the winds are. I wouldn't be surprised again if our camera kind of gets turned again because of that wind coming right at us. And you can see it moving almost kind of right to left across your screen with the storms that are rolling into Decatur as we speak. That's what you're looking at. And it's not just Decatur there. I know our friends in Forsyth, I know our friends in Maroa are seeing the similar conditions, in Macon, our friends in Mount Zion and Long Creek. You guys are going to be next with this, but this is the view that we're getting from our weather camera here in Decatur. I'm gonna pan it around and see if we get any other, if we can see anything else here. Just bear with me here as we try to see if we get another kind of view of that storm kind of coming in, as we just give you another look at it. And you can see now the rain bands kind of coming left to right across your screen as we kind of pan back across there towards the downtown area. You can see right there now in the center part of your screen is kind of the downtown parts of Decatur, and those storms are packing a punch right now. All right, tornado warning. There's still a handful of tornado warnings that are in effect. Assumption, storm coming into Assumption right now. You need to be in your tornado safe spot. And again, let me know if we get Jacob back up again. I will clarify this. Jacob, he's been chasing storms for a long time. He is professionally trained. He does this for a living, and he does it in the most safe way possible. And listen, if you've watched any of us, you know how passionate we are about storms and how we love to do this. We love our jobs. We love covering this. And Jacob is out there right now doing that safely. I'm telling you right now, I know he is, because that's what he does. And Jacob, where are you at? What are you seeing, and how are things going?
Yeah, Kevin, we are in the Decatur area. The wind, I'll show you what we're doing now coming into town. There's going to be a lot of limbs and trees to clean up after this. The wind, we talked about how strong the wind is, but until you're in it, it catches you off guard. We had trees just disintegrating in the wind next to us here. It was to our north, and so we were in a safe spot, but it was just very surprising to see, wow, look at this. There's a tree down right here on a home, tree on a home right now on the southwest side of Decatur. I will back up and pan this. This is the problem, folks. We've got trees coming down on structures just like this here, and it is a large tree. That's at least a 3 or 4 foot diameter tree that is down onto this home structure on the southwest side here. So a very dangerous situation. This is the type of damage that will occur because of the wind coming on through, as we're seeing right here. So yeah, got a little scary there for a bit, Kevin, but these storms are windy and they are very dangerous as they move off to the east, Kevin. Live in the Storm Tracker, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We'll send it back to you.
Showing you live pictures of the damage minutes after it happened, okay? And that's what we're doing. We're trying to reinforce to you guys, this is not your typical ordinary storm. This thing's doing damage. It's taking down power lines. It's taking down trees all along this entire line. It's not something to mess with. So we're trying to reinforce that to you here. New severe thunderstorm warnings just been issued here. Adam, you've got new information that now includes Champaign. Go ahead, Adam.
Champaign County, Kevin, and Urbana as well. Mahomet, most of the county, if not the entire county here, maybe just a little bit more to the north, is out of it. But 80-mile-an-hour winds, that is no joke. 80-mile-an-hour straight-line winds. We've been talking about tornadoes, but straight-line winds are also a concern as well. And as Kevin has said multiple times throughout this stream, throughout this broadcast too as well, you have to take all these severe thunderstorm warnings very seriously, even treat them like they're tornado warnings. We do have the tornado possible tag with them as well, destructive tag on there too as well. 80-mile-an-hour winds, and as Jacob has showed you, even though there may not be tornado damage, that is very extensive at times too. It can do a lot of damage as well. So yes, we are concerned about the tornado warnings. We're not saying we aren't, but it's a wide warning too, stretching through parts of Piatt County, all through parts for a good chunk of Champaign County, even north of that as well, Tuscola in it too. So we are treating these very seriously here. I know we have the tornado warnings, but the straight line winds, as Jacob mentioned, those are very strong as well. And I think Kevin's got velocity up. If we want to show Kevin's velocity, you can see how strong these winds really are here. Kevin, what do we have there? So
here's something that maybe some of you have never had before. This severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued is a rare one. It is one that they, again, are considering destructive. 80-mile-per-hour winds for this entire area. You see these bright colors that are going through Argenta, coming to Cisco, Cerro Gordo, just went through Mount Zion, all along that line. This new severe thunderstorm warning is one that is considered to be a higher level than a normal severe thunderstorm warning. See it kind of outlined here in pink? It actually goes all the way down here into Coles County, into Cumberland County, Douglas County, Champaign County, Piatt County. You have to treat this one as a different level. You're going to have wind damage. You're going to have power lines down. Okay, I'm telling you right now, these storms have tremendous amounts of energy that they are working with, and they are coming into a primed area. If you're in Monticello right now, if you're anywhere into Piatt County, while these storms have not touched you yet, they are going to be there in minutes. Champaign down the line, Tuscola, Sullivan down the line. This entire line could produce 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts from the National Weather Service that just issued the severe thunderstorm warning. They are going with the potential of those really strong winds occurring. The Decatur Airport had a 63-mile-per-hour wind gust associated with it when it just came through. That report just came into us. This storm is moving at 65 miles an hour. It's moving at highway speeds. Okay, 80-mile-an-hour winds and half-dollar size hail, a possibility. Very, very intense thunderstorm. These are not your run-of-the-mill regular storms that you get. Okay, this is the real deal when it comes to straight line winds. When this comes to highest level of wind threats, you're getting it here with this line right now. You have to take shelter. You have to be in your safe spot. You could almost treat this entire line as a tornado warning. If you get 80-mile-an-hour winds, that's equivalent to the winds in some of the weaker tornadoes that we've got. Adam, you've got some information for us here. Adam, go ahead. We'll send it over to you.
I know this is a little off the cuff, but we did get our alerts there for these severe thunderstorm warnings. We talked about it earlier this morning. You normally don't get those severe thunderstorm warnings to your cell phone. You get the tornado warnings or the flash flood warnings. Well, we got one for the destructive tag. Again, I got one just a little bit ago. That's why I'm showing my cell phone there. So keep that in mind. You might have it where your phone's going off right now and you're going, oh, it's not a tornado warning. Take these seriously. 80-mile-an-hour winds, as Kevin said, highway speed. We have Jacob right now, meteorologist Jacob Dickey. What do you have for us, Jacob? We've heard you've got some damage possibly?
Hey, yeah, we're here on the west side of Decatur. There is a lot of damage here. Power lines are down, trees are down. This tree right here is right on Highway 48, and so I wanted to show you that live on TV. You can see the stoplight here. One thing to note, when power is out, treat those stoplights as four-way stops, as this tree has come down with some damage. This is the west side of the Milliken campus right here. Looks like there's some lights on in Milliken, but to the neighborhood around us in the dark at this time. So we are finding out this damage and seeing that this is what's to come for Monticello, Champaign, Tuscola, Mattoon, Charleston, places like that. We're going to snake our way through Mattoon, through the west side of Decatur, and then make our way back to the interstate to head east. And we'll have more reports as we get them. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jacob. Yeah, again, your phones might be going off, okay? They're called wireless emergency alerts. And you probably have that tone that was going off because of the severity of this severe thunderstorm warning. I've been told that tornado sirens are going off. Some municipalities, villages, towns, it's their option whether they sound tornado sirens for severe thunderstorm warnings. And a lot of them do when it's a high-end severe thunderstorm warning, and that's what we've got here right now. So, Farmer City, okay, let's just kind of talk about the cities that are next in line to get hit here. Farmer City, right there stretching down towards D-Land into Monticello into Piatt County. Argenta, you are getting slammed by storm. Cerro Gordo, you're next. LaPlace, stretching down into southeastern portions of Macon County there. Dalton City, you're next. And I'm talking seconds away. Down the line, Finlay. Down the line, Shelbyville. But right now, you can see, here's what we're looking at. See these colors right through here? These kind of yellowish and orangish colors, those are the leading edges of the storm that are showing winds of 70 to 80 miles per hour. And anywhere along this line, we may have a brief spin-up tornado that could occur with this. Just look how large this entire line is. This thing is going to be on top of us before too long, even in Champaign. We're going to keep an eye on this camera pointed to the west as that line comes in to show us that storm. But it's going to be in Champaign in the next 30 minutes. So just a heads up on that. And we're starting to see more rotation on some of these storms with this. Damage already being reported with Jacob there into Macon County. And I expect way more reports of damage to come in. I think we're going to have a widespread, long span of wind reports from trees and power lines. And we're just kind of scratching the surface of this as reports come in. Adam?
You were mentioning how we're going to have the extensive line of storms and extensive, possibly extensive damage too as well. But think about this. It is 12:59, not even 1 o'clock. In about 15 seconds, we'll be at 1 o'clock here. And we've already seen this come into Champaign County, closer toward Champaign County. It has pulsed through the entire region as well. It's pulsing pretty quickly. To give you an idea of what I mean by that is that this is a very quick but lightning strong, almost a blitz of storms moving through here. Places on the other side of that belt of wind that Kevin was mentioning right there, where we're starting to see those little rotations continue on. That's where we're starting to see a little bit of calmer winds out there, but still notice how quickly this has been moving the entire time. It's a very short time frame, and we're already starting to talk about Champaign County. At the beginning of the noon show, about an hour ago, we were talking about storms on the other side of the viewing area starting to move their way here. So that gives you an idea of how quickly they're moving, is that within under an hour, they've almost made it to the middle, if not to the east side of our viewing area here already. Kevin, what do you have for us?
Oh, wow. Just got a report in from the Decatur Airport of 75. They measured a 75 mile per hour confirmed gust at the Decatur Airport right here. It's east of town there, kind of southeast of town. And so now those same winds coming through Cerro Gordo along Highway 32 to LaPlace. A 75 mile per hour gust. Again, no joke here. And that's why there's damage all over Macon County that Jacob was showing us. But that report is coming. Numerous power lines and trees are down in that area. Again, the wind gust there was at 75 at the airport. This thing is cooking. Monticello, it's going to be on top of you in minutes. Bement, Whiteheath. Okay, those are the next towns that are in line here. Atwood, Hammond, Ivesdale. In the next 10 minutes, this storm will be on top of you. Lovington, in the next 4 minutes. Stretching down to Bethany, it's on top of you. The winds are there. Sullivan, it's coming soon as well. And I know we still have some tornado warnings, but I'm literally just treating this entire line as a tornado warning. But I got to tell you, that right there is what we call a little front end nub that's right here. That near Finlay, that has me a little concerned. I think there is a spin up tornado that is occurring right now, and we can kind of see that when we switch things over to the radar view of this as well, or in the velocity view right there. Okay, that's going to be there near Finlay. That's going to be just there along 128. Okay. That rotation is coming to Finlay. That is a little spin-up tornado that I think is occurring as that moves off to the south and east. That's going to be south of Sullivan. So between Sullivan and Windsor, you need to be in your tornado safe spot right now. Definite rotation, and I'll put it right there. It's right on 128. That's where the rotating part of the storm is. The tornado warning is in effect, and that is going to be heading in the Finlay direction here in the next few minutes. Take shelter right now if you're down there. This whole line has that potential to have these little areas of rotation on them. So do you see how that one kind of sticks out? See how this kind of sticks out just a little bit right here? And maybe some other ones up here into Moultrie County we're going to have to watch as well. But all of those storms have the potential to produce a tornado. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Tornado or not, you've got 80 mile an hour winds along this entire line. And that is going to do sometimes just as much damage of some of these little weak spin up tornadoes. Monticello, you got minutes before it's on top of you. All of our friends there in Piatt County, DeLand and Cisco, you're getting hit hard right now by these storms. This is going to continue to ride right along I-72. There are going to be many areas that are not going to be left untouched. Seymour, Mahomet, Champaign, Tolono, Atwood. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, those storms are coming for you. This whole line is racing to these 65 to 70 miles an hour at highway speeds. Okay, that's really fast for for storms to do that. That means there's a lot of energy pushing these storms along, and then that wind energy gets transferred back down to the surface, spreads out, and that's how you get some of the wind damage with this. These reports are coming in fast and furious. Let me look here. McLean County, 60-mile-an-hour winds, power lines down into McLean County near Hayworth. Thunderstorm wind damage, trees are down. Taylorville, they've got tree limbs down, power poles broken in the Taylorville area. In Dawson, extensive damage. In Dawson, numerous roads are blocked by debris. That's in Sangamon County where that's occurring. We just had another wind gust there at the Decatur Airport of 65 miles per hour, and reports of many lines down in the city of Lincoln. Along Route 121 southeast of Lincoln, power lines also down on I-55 at milepost 133. I-55 closed to traffic right now over there near Lincoln, milepost 133, I-55, because of power lines down. I think you're going to have power lines down in every single county potentially in our viewing area. These storms have so much energy with them, and they've had the history everywhere of producing that. As Jacob, is that some? I think I see his picture. Okay, that was something else. We might be getting in some pictures. Okay, so let's show some damage from earlier. So I'm going to show you. Looks like some tree damage there. That was Jacob shot a little bit earlier. So you can see there, he's had some in the roadway. He's had some there I can't quite tell if that's on top of a house. Again, that was just about 25 minutes ago into Macon County. And then when he was coming in there into Decatur, you can see a tree that was across the road. The stoplights that are out, treating those as four-way stops, as those storms pack a huge punch on that. Again, I think we might have a tornado here with our storm coming into the Findlay area. If you are into portions of Shelby County right now, Findlay just north of Shelbyville, coming into Moultrie County too, just be on the lookout there. Down the line, Windsor and Sullivan. Tornado potential is there, but the wind potential is there for everyone. And you can kind of just treat it all the same. Again, a rare severe thunderstorm warning issued with a destructive tag, one that set off your phones, the wireless emergency alerts on your phones going off because of the intensity and the severity that's treating this severe thunderstorm warning as something different. Something that hasn't happened a whole lot here in central Illinois is getting that 80-mile-per-hour tag, severe thunderstorm warning, destructive tag associated with it with the National Weather Service. And these warnings are coming in still fast and furious here. Here's the thing, we're not even close to being done with this. We've still got several counties that are about to get hit. I want to show you our camera now in Champaign. Let's see what it looks like, see if we're catching any more structure. Now we're starting to see, you can just kind of see that shelf cloud. You're going to see this shelf cloud kind of come in, and then sometimes you're going to have these little lowerings that you have to watch for. You can see one there in the middle part of your screen where that's located. That's coming right at us, and we'll have to see if we see anything start to try to develop as that comes in. So we're going to have some great views of this on our cameras. We have two cameras we can look at here. That's the one here at the studio. You're going to see a similar view at the one here at the stadium camera there, looking to the west as well. So we're going to have some really good views as this starts to come in into Champaign County right now. If you are in Monticello, Bement, you're getting hammered by this. Atwood, Tuscola, Tolono, Arthur, Arcola, Humboldt, you are next with these storms as they're coming in. Power outages are aplenty right now, and Adam's got more on the latest with that. Adam, what do you got?
Yeah, the numbers are coming in about 52,000 statewide, but you'll see Sangamon, Morgan, Cass, Menard, Logan, Christian, Macoupin County. These are all areas that have seen the storms about an hour ago moving through the region. Now, they're having a hard time updating the data for this because these storms are moving so fast, but I wouldn't be surprised. Macon County, Piatt, Moultrie, Shelby, getting more of those coming in as we go forward in time. And by the time the storm starts to move out of here, we'll see more of these start to turn over here, but thousands without power here in Sangamon and Morgan County too as well. Again, we're trying to get that data in, but it keeps slowly coming in because these storms are moving so fast. Again, as Kevin has said multiple times, highway speed. That's where they're moving, and the straight line winds are no joke, as Kevin has talked about, but also Jacob has shown too. We've seen some damage from some of these as well here. So we've got the tornado threat still we're watching for, but we're also watching these storms as they come through here. With some of the velocity that we've seen from some of these storms, we have seen just that kind of almost different color right there. You can see that it's just so intense as it moves this way. Now starting to get closer and closer to Champaign County. Kevin did show there that we had that look at Champaign County, or Champaign looking out towards the west as these storms are starting to move this way. It's starting to get grayer and grayer over there. And we still have one tornado warning there in Shelby, near Shelbyville in Shelby County. But again, treat this entire warning. It's a big one too, stretching just south of Neoga too. Treat this as a tornado warning almost here, because we are seeing those 80-mile-an-hour winds. Just be very precautious about this. I know we kind of take severe thunderstorm warnings for granted. Do not take this one for granted, as we have those strong 80-mile-an-hour winds moving with this storm. Now Sullivan's seeing probably some of the heaviest winds right now too. Shelbyville, they're starting to see some there too, and just outside of Champaign, probably pretty soon into Mahomet, we probably will start to see a little bit more of that coming this way. 72, 74, seeing a lot of that activity move this way out towards Leroy. Down to the south, you can see it's just a long line of just wind with this storm as it moves this way. Tuscola, Charleston, you have a little bit of time, but don't take that for granted. These storms are coming pretty quick here. Again, we have seen some very fast moving storms up to 60 plus miles per hour as they move this way. It's a fast moving system. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, so I want to show you here on the radar. So there's the storm that's getting ready to cross into Champaign County right now. What we can do is basically ask the radar, hey, what are these winds doing? So the radar is able to measure wind speed here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up what we call our velocity scope. So this gives us the winds. You're going to see some of the colors. Then I'm going to ask the radar to estimate how much the winds are within that. And you can see there the velocity that says 75 miles per hour there near Bement and heading into the eastern portions of Piatt County. 75 mile per hour winds anywhere you see that color. Okay, that kind of yellowish orangish color right there, the leading edge. 75 to 80 mile an hour winds coming into soon, Tolono, Posodum there, coming into the southwest side of Champaign County. Let's take the view from our camera now. Here it comes. Wow, look at that. Look at that shot there. A distinct shelf cloud stretching across the sky, very defined. See the very crisp edges to that cloud there. That's an indicator of a very healthy, mature thunderstorm that's got a lot of energy with it. That thing right there, it looks like a huge spaceship about to roll across the sky, right? But I'm telling you, the leading edge of this, these winds are going to crank. They are going to be really strong, 80-mile-an-hour winds. But what we look for is that little lowering there. Okay, we're going to watch that spot there, a little bit of a lowering that we'll have to just keep an eye on. Yeah, I'll let you kind of control the camera there, Adam, with that. But that whole thing, that's now coming into western portions of Champaign County right now. It's coming into Bonneville. If I had to guess, that's over Bonneville right now. It's over Sedoris right now. Just came through Ivesdale, and you're getting some really strong winds there coming out of Monticello, coming into Ivesdale right now. Posodum to Tolono, I know you've got some activity right now, but look at that. I mean, that is a view that you're seeing from our weather camera in Champaign, straight west. And that right there, we're just watching that carefully. We're going to keep our eyes on that right there. That's not necessarily to the ground or anything, but we're going to watch. So sometimes you get these little spin ups that can occur, and we've got a really good view of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see what our other camera looks at from the stadium view. And you're seeing something very similar, okay? You see it kind of like arcs around. It kind of curves all the way around and stretches there on the north side of town there. That thing is coming in hot. It's coming in really quick. And again, on the left part of your screen, where some of those lowerings are sometimes, where we're going to be looking very closely, and we'll switch it back over here. There's Adam moving the camera there, right there in the center part of your screen. We're just going to watch that. If nothing else, Champaign, in the next few minutes, you're about to get rocked by possibly 70 to 80 mile per hour winds, and the potential for trees and power lines to come down is significant at this time, because we've already had a history of this thing producing that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Monticello took a pretty good hit from those winds down to Bement, Ivesdale, Atwood, and now coming into Arthur as well. That is the part of the storm we're kind of looking at that's got that small little lowering there. but I got to tell, I'm not seeing anything distinctive. I don't see a ton of rotation with any of it. But that leading edge of that shelf cloud is what we call it, is where you're going to have that. Can we widen that back? I just want to show you that wide view again, because again, I don't want you to go outside. This thing is going to be literally on top of us in the next few minutes or so. We're showing you the views here, so you don't have to go outside and look at this stuff, because I'm telling you, you don't want to be around any trees right now, okay? And even in your home, I would go to a spot in your home that, listen, I know there's a lot of trees, you know, around Champaign-Urbana, you know, especially in Urbana, a lot of good trees over there, and be in a spot in your home, if you can, that isn't going to be close. If you've got a tree close to your house, okay, that could kind of fall over. And think of it this way: a lot of the storms are coming in from west to east. So if you know what kind of, you know, where you are in your home, just maybe try to just think a little bit about where you're going to go there to try to keep yourself safe, because these things are bringing down trees left and right in a lot of spots. And then there's the potential for these to, you know, spin up, you know, a little tornado as well. So treat all of this as a very serious situation, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect here. We're going to keep panning this around, and you're going to see here in just a moment our camera view on this here. Does that can we pull up? Is that Max 2 that we've got? Yeah, I guess it is there. It just looks a little bit different on our camera. So that little lowering right there, you can see that on camera really well. We're going to watch it carefully, but this is where the winds are. This is exactly the location of where the strong winds are about to hit in Champaign right now. Okay, guys, you need to be taking shelter. These storms are of the highest level of what a severe thunderstorm warning basically ever gets issued. Tuscola, it's coming into your area right now, to Tolono there as well. I'm just going to click things back over here to the radar real quick. So I want to just kind of show you where the storms are again. They're moving just so fast right now. Here are the storms that are now coming into the west side of Champaign. Sodorus, you're seeing that. Pasodum, coming into Bourbon, down into Douglas County. Going to be coming into Tuscola here before too long. And crossing 45, there's Arcola, there's Cooks Mills, there's Humboldt, stretching down to Mattoon, Charleston. Strong storm there, maybe some hail where that purple color is there, just east of Shelbyville, Windsor to Strasburg. Neoga before too long, Toledo. This whole line is going to be on top of you. And we switch things back over to our camera view once again as we watch the storm kind of coming in.
As it pulls out, you'll see it really start to race across
okay,
the
horizon. So you're watching it kind of just come right across the sky right now in Champaign. That very large, long view of that shelf cloud that's kicking in here. I'm going to actually switch over to our, so you can't even see it anymore now on our stadium camera there, because that shelf cloud is coming. You're going to see our cameras now start to shake a bunch as the winds kick in. And I'm just going to try to pan this back over and see if I can get this view again of that leading edge of that now coming into the north side of town, coming across northern Champaign, Urbana, and quickly racing across the sky. And you're going to see those winds really begin to pick up. And as I mentioned, those cameras are really going to start to shake. Actually, I'm seeing, I need to look at something here on radar. An impressive signature trying. Okay, I think we're back here, guys. Can we confirm that we're back up here? I think we're back up here. All right, guys, I think we took a little bit of a power hit here. Okay, so let's see here. Bear with me here, guys. We just took a power hit. I think we're back up on the air right now. Storm just coming in here, just hit the station here. We got those gusty winds. That is going to be, let's see here, I'm trying to pull up. Can you,
One.
yeah, I think we lost, okay, so there we go. So there it is, the storm that's coming into Champaign right now. You can see the, come back to max 1, max 1. Wait, we had the camera there. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that is the storm coming into Champaign. We just had the shot there. I'm not sure. There it is, right there. So there it is coming into Champaign. You can see the rain bands coming across right now. Strong winds in Champaign downtown right now. Okay, storms are racing in and are producing some really, really intense, heavy rain bands. And you're going to see our camera hopefully make it through the storm here, because it is literally on top of us here as we speak. Severe thunderstorm warning, the highest level coming through Champaign, Urbana, Savoy to Tolono right now. That is the view that you are getting from our camera here at the studio, and you're going to soon probably not even be able to see some of the buildings there because of just how heavy the rain is going to be and the winds as well. We're just going to let you kind of watch this along with us as we kind of get all of our systems back up. We took a little bit of a power hit here just a moment ago, but hopefully we are back up with you guys. We're online and streaming hopefully here as well. So you've been watching us on Facebook. That is the view right now. Champaign, Urbana, our camera here. I'm getting reports of 70 to 80 mile an hour winds according to what we're seeing here on radar. I'm hearing maybe a little bit of hail outside of the studio right now as well. I just got a text from our Jennifer Roscoe, who's on the west side of town. She said, wow, this is intense. I've just got a text from Brett Behrens, says that Muhammad getting hit really hard as well. It is literally on top of us and just coming down. Okay, so let's switch over to the other camera. I'll let you go ahead and take that, Jalen. So that's actually down in Charleston. So they're about to get what we're getting here in Champaign. Look at that view of that same kind of shelf cloud coming into the Charleston area. We don't want to leave out our friends down into Coles County right now. Charleston, Mattoon, Humboldt, Lerna. You're about to get hit by that storm as we speak. We'll come back to our Champaign camera here, and you can see again, there's a storm came. I would not want to be driving a car right now. I would not want to be driving in this. This is the kind of thing that is going to, possibly tip over semis on the interstate and make it really hard to drive high-profile vehicles. 70, 80 mile an hour winds. We're seeing obviously a little bit of lightning in there as well, but these wind bands, these rain shafts just blowing across as this line comes in to Champaign County. Again, you're looking at St. Joe, you're next. Homer, it's almost on top of you. Broadlands to Newman. Going to be coming into Oakland before too long as well. Very strong thunderstorm here with the potential to produce a lot of wind damage. Power is out in Mahomet. Just got a text from Brett Behrens. He says the power is out over there. No surprise that the power is out. I can see power being out from the Champaign County through Douglas. This whole line potentially has produced wind damage with it coming through as we speak. You guys keep an eye on those cameras for me. I'm going to come back over to the radar view to kind of show everybody where the storms are. It's right along 57 and 45 right now, the worst of it. You're going to have that big long shelf cloud coming in here, and that's going to be the leading edge. When you see that thing coming at you, you got a few minutes before you've got the same 70 to 80 mile an hour winds. St. Joe, Royal, Homer, soon down the line. Newman, as we mentioned there, all the way down into Douglas and Coles County. There's Charleston, and that storm coming into Charleston right now. That storm right there is quite intense. And again, the views that we are able to get from that with the storm, I'll pull that back up for you. There's that long shelf cloud again that's coming in. Right along that leading edge, you get some really strong winds that kick up. That's the worst part of the storm as it moves in. These winds kind of come down there, the downdraft of the storm, and that is the view that you get. We sometimes call it the big, huge spaceship that comes in, but these things have so much wind energy with them. They are really throwing those winds down to the surface, and that's the view you're getting. If you're in Charleston right now, Mattoon as well.
Mattoon's looking pretty rough.
All right, here I'm gonna switch over to our Mattoon camera here now. So we've got the Charleston camera, and then we're gonna throw up Mattoon. They're getting slammed by the storms right now as well, and you can see there looking off into Mattoon. The storm is literally on top of them, just rolling into town. And again, that same shelf cloud you're seeing in Charleston is what is literally on top of Mattoon right now, and that thing's going to continue to head off there to the east. I know, Rantoul, you are seeing that as well, coming into Ludlow and Paxton here before too long. Our friends up in DeFore and Iroquois County getting hit pretty hard here in just a little bit. But power outages are mounting up across the area. So the view there from Mattoon, and then we switch things back over to our Charleston camera to show you guys what you're about to see. And look at that shot there of that shelf cloud. What you look for, sometimes there's some lowerings along that. I'm not seeing rotation on any of this, but look how fast this is just moving across the screen. It's moving really quick, and it's going to throw those winds down and bring down those very gusty winds to the area. I'm going to see if I can switch back here. So that's our Champaign camera that we can barely kind of see anything anymore. There you go. So things in Champaign seem to be calming down just a little bit. Still storming pretty good on the east side of town. Urbana and now St. Joe, you're going to be getting hit really hard by our storm as it comes in. That's Charleston. Again, there's the view. We're going to show you some other pictures of damage that came in here. Let's go ahead and, sorry guys, I'm just coming over here. If you guys can flip those monitors back on, I think when we took the power hit, they didn't fully come back on. Here are your pictures. Now this is going to be in the Dawson area. Is that what we said? So that's going to be in Dawson. Just a little bit ago, tree damage. I think you're going to have trees down almost everywhere. This is going to be a common theme to the day, and scenes like this will be all over the place. Okay, you can see those tree pictures, tree damage. When you get 75 to 80 mile per hour winds, it does not take much to bring down trees. Okay, Jacob saw some trees down in Decatur in the Macon County area. Jacob is back with us. You're traveling on the interstate, trying to race back those images you see there from earlier in Macon County when Jacob was in the storm tracker, and he's seeing that. Let's go back live to Jacob now. He's in the storm tracker trying to potentially get back ahead of this, and they're having a tough time because the storms are moving so fast. What do you got, Jacob?
Yeah, hey Kevin, we're moving to the east on I-72 now, just passing through Monticello. Decatur got hit really hard. I mean, it looked like someone took a rake and just rushed it through town. A lot of tree damage, a lot of power line damage. We saw a lot of first responders traveling out and about, responding to power lines down, trees down, roads blocked, you name it. As far as the interstates go, so far in 72, and I'm not that surprised by this, I have not seen any semis that have been rolled over. Sometimes that can happen. That, though, is probably because the winds have been pretty parallel to the road here. You see in front of me, I'm moving to the east. The wind would have been coming from behind me to in front of me, and we're ways behind that. Looks like there's still some lights on here as well in parts of the Monticello area, but we've seen reports all over where, you know, this neighborhood's out of power, that neighborhood's out of power, and et cetera, et cetera. I-55 and I-57 probably are going to have a lot of semis that end up on their sides if this storm has its true wind potential that we've seen. So that may be something else that we'll watch for. And there's also a lot of calls for assistance, for fire alarms going off in Champaign, all kinds of things happening here because of this type of storm. As far as significant damage, I know you showed those Dawson photos out that way between tornado and wind. Listen, this is just a big storm moving on through. I know there's power outages in Ford County, up by Gibson City, Mahomet, places like that, where outages here and there. It will be some time to clean up. Probably the best advice is after the storm clears, just stay home. Let those crews hit the road and get to work on things. Live in the Storm Tracker in Monticello, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We will be heading to Champaign here shortly. Have more updates coming up.
right, so thanks a lot, Jacob. So he's going to continue to give us reports there. We'll come back here. That's the Charleston camera. The storm about to hit you guys in the next minute. I was just looking at some of the power outages. Right now in Macon County, 7,200 customers are without power in Macon County right now, 7,200. In Sangamon County, 11,500 customers without power in Sangamon County as the storms just rolled through. In Christian County, almost 1,800 customers are without power. In DeWitt County, 685, and I have a feeling that when we start getting reports in from Piatt, Moultrie, and Champaign County, those numbers are also going to be very high. Morgan County also has almost 7,000 customers without power. Coles County, you may be next, and it looks like the airport. Okay, so the airport, Willard Airport, does not have electricity right now. Do you have somebody live right now? Okay, all right. But we got a reporter that's actually at Willard Airport, I think maybe doing another story, and they don't have any power at Willard Airport, which is not a surprise with this line of storms that have moved through. And I even think our camera in Charleston might have just froze up on us as the winds have really ramped up. This whole thing is a big, what we call a bow echo, okay, a bowing line of storms moving through right now. And this is, you can just kind of, here, I'm just going to draw that. See that? See that kind of bows out? So that whole area there is what is causing so much winds. This is a classic bow echo radar signature. And what happens is you've got these winds that are blowing here into the line of storms here, and almost it pushes out along the leading edge of it, and you get really strong winds. And the whole line, it would normally be like a straight line, but it's bowed out because of how strong the winds are. And that's why we have these 80 mile per hour destructive tags associated with them. St. Joe, you guys just got nailed by this as well. This is now coming into Danville before too long, and what I can do is pull up our camera in Danville, and guess what you're probably going to see here, and that's going to be the view of that shelf cloud getting closer to them. Not as prominent just yet, but Danville and our friends in Vermilion County, you're next. Potomac, Bismarck, Oakwood, Fairmount, Jamaica, Seidel, you're in the next few minutes here. And then eventually Westville, Georgetown, Ridge Farm, coming into Edgar County as well. Chrisman, Hume, Edgar, Brockton, it's on top of you. Redmond, it's going to be on top of you in the next minute. And eventually down the line, you're talking about Paris. And so we'll continue to watch the camera view from our Danville camera. We've been able to watch this whole line traverse across with our camera network. It's so nice to have all of those different views. But man, these storms are really strong. Gibson City and Paxton, you guys are seeing the strong winds that just kind of came through. Still very strong up there, but those severe thunderstorm warnings extend all the way down. And again, we've still got this destructive tag associated with it. So your phones probably went off in Hoopston, in Cissna Park, in Penfield, in Bismarck for this highest upgraded severe thunderstorm warning. And that warning stretches all the way to the state line now. So all along here, Oakland, you're getting hit. Ashmore before too long. I know Ashmore earlier, I took some pictures from some viewers of some golf ball size hail from the early morning storms, but now things are really cranking, getting ready to crank down there. Let me see if I can pull back up our Charleston camera here and show you the view that we have now. So it kind of froze. All right, we got some video here. Okay, here's some I-57 video of the semi rolled over. It's going to be just north of Curtis Road. So 57 just north of Curtis Road a few minutes ago. There it is, semi rolled over. It's going to be on the south side of town, I-57 Curtis Road. Right there near the overpass there, that is a semi blown over in the southbound lane of I-57. So this is the kind of thing that we've been dealing with here all along this line. Really extreme winds toppling power lines, trees, semis. And who knows what else that wasn't secured down here. And those reports are coming in. Adam, you've got some more reports there?
Yeah, we've been getting a slew of reports over the last 2 minutes here. Willard Airport, a thunderstorm wind gust of about 62 miles per hour there at 118. Champaign County, 1 mile west of Urbana, thunderstorm damage. 3-inch tree limbs down, 3-inch in diameter there. We've also got in Neoga, Cumberland County, thunderstorm wind damage. Spotters noticed numerous trees and limbs down and winds increasing and visibility near zero at one point, similar to what we saw here in town in Champaign. Hammond there, Moultrie County, they've had damage about 1 o'clock. There are 3-inch limbs. These are all relatively now just coming into the National Weather Service as well, so they're now starting to spit it out to us. Also, the NOAA Weather Radio in Paris is having some issues apparently too as well, and the transmitter keeps going off. So those who are kind of worried about what's going on in Paris when we have the storms coming this way, having us online and really on air too helps out too as well. More ways to find out the weather information, the better you're going to be. Some more reports too as well from Chatham earlier this afternoon at 12:15. Large tree down blocking Subdivision Road. We had a lot of them in Sangamon County too, and up towards the north there in the northern portions, northwest of our viewing area too as well. Lincoln emergency manager said that they had many power lines down in Lincoln itself. A large tree blown onto a chain link fence there in Springfield, destroying the fence. So there's a lot of going on here too. Here's one report that's kind of interesting too that came from the National Weather Service at 12:20. Camper rolled into a house with shingles blown off the house, possibly caused by a tornado. And so they've got a couple of those that they're going to check out there in Sangamon County. But there's just a list of now finally coming through here to give us more reports here, Kevin. They've been kind of down for a second. Now they're just coming in like rapid fire.
All right, thanks a lot. And now coming into Vermilion County and Danville. All of you over there about to get hit by the same thing that so many of us to your west have been struggling with over the last hour and a half or so. And there's that long line, that long shelf cloud that will provide the strong winds on the leading edge of that as it comes into town. That line is currently crossing right over places like Oakwood. Okay, it's on top of Oakwood, Fairmount, and Jamaica right now, coming towards Potomac, Jamesburg, all of those areas. And then soon Westville, Georgetown to Danville, all the way down to Ridge Farm as well, going to see that really strong line. I've got reports of some other pictures of some damage. I believe this is in Mattoon. More trees down there in the Mattoon area as that storm just came across. I know there's a lot of you that maybe have pictures and maybe have damage to your home where you are, where you've been here today. I encourage you, if you have some photos, you can send them over to us. You can email news@WCIA.com. You can also post to our Facebook page. Our teams are monitoring our social media accounts there. You can message us on Facebook or email news@WCIA.com. We can get those pictures and then share them with our viewers to let everybody kind of know, hey, here's what we're dealing with there. So you guys, you report and you help us out here provide that information. So your reports are very appreciated. So if you have pictures or things going on, let us know. Again, that's Danville. There it is, that line of storms rocking and rolling so fast. These things are just racing across. It wasn't but an hour and a half ago, these were in our western viewing area. Just as the noon show was starting, coming into Cass and Morgan County, these have traversed almost the entire viewing area in 90 minutes. It's pretty wild how fast these storms are moving. But next up, again, Danville, you've got probably a couple minutes before you get those really strong winds coming into where you are. And so all of Vermilion County under that severe thunderstorm warning. The same for our friends down in Edgar County. And we say hello, and hopefully you guys are battening down the hatches in Chrisman and in Paris right now, and down towards Oliver, Kansas. That storm is about on top of you as well. The main threats with these are going to be the winds. Okay, and I know normally you really kind of think about tornadoes as being worse. In this situation today, more people are being affected by this line of storms because it's so long, and along that entire line, you're getting these 70 mile per hour to 80 mile per hour wind gusts. So more of us are all being affected by this, as opposed to a tornado warning or a tornado that comes through, maybe sometimes affects a smaller area. But we've got 70, 80 mile long stretch of storms that have produced 70+ mile per hour winds here, and a lot of wind and tree damage, and we haven't even scratched the surface of all of that. Again, so here comes that shelf cloud, the leading edge of the storm that's coming into Danville. You're about to feel those winds, be inside, we're showing you the images here so you don't have to go out, be in your safe spot. We want everybody to get through the storm. The good news is, hopefully before too long, the threats are going to subside a bit. But for right now, there is still some very, very intense thunderstorms moving through. All right, so we've got some additional video, I'm told, here. We're going to show you a time lapse over Campus Town as the storm came through, and here it is. So there's the view over Campus Town. You can see that shelf cloud coming in. Wow, look at the storm racing across, and suddenly the definition of the clouds, you're not able to see as much because things are just getting so obscured when that line of storms moves into the area. And you can see that's the time lapse from there. And lightning strike. I also just got a report here. Lightning struck a transformer by the Barnes Center. And so it's got a video that was sent over to me here. Looks like a transformer maybe on fire. Yeah, wow. So I'm going to try to get that video. If anybody is in touch with Stacy here at the station, he just sent me a video. If you can send it to the news account, and then we can try to get his video. So anybody that's listening there, Stacy back there in 509, he just sent me that. He's got a good video. You can kind of see the transformer maybe that was either on fire or flashing there after it got hit by lightning. Here comes the storm coming in here. I'm just also getting reports here of some traffic collisions there. There's Stacy. Can you send that to news@WCIA.com, and then they can get it back in the control room back there. Just getting a report there of looks like some traffic accidents along Route 45 in Tolono as well. That's possibly occurred due to the storms that are obviously just delivering a huge blow to so many areas. We're going to be getting Jacob here in just a little bit, and he's going to probably come across that semi-truck rollover. So we're going to wait on him to get in position there. I just want to give you go ahead, Adam.
You want some power outage numbers there, Kevin?
Yeah, if you got some power outage numbers there as we wait for Jacob to get into place. And so what do you got? What are the latest outages?
So Douglas County at 1,236 right now. As we go into Champaign County, 1,361. Let's go over to Piatt, 64. Over there at DeWitt, 1,547 as well. No surprise there that we're getting a lot there in Douglas County as we're starting to see the southern edge of that bow start to move on through. Moultrie County at 609. There in Shelby County, 1,285. Macon at 11,523. Logan County, 2,790. DeWitt County, again, 1,547. Sangamon County still has the most here, 12,381. Statewide, 84,758. A lot on the other side of the Illinois River. Morgan, 7,139, 145 there in Cass County. Menard County, 466. Let's take it on over to Montgomery County, 1,356. And we're getting these numbers really to come in more so now. These storms have been moving so fast here, and you've seen it all day. You've seen it on our cameras. No surprise that we're starting to see these finally start to come in here. We're getting more data as well. McLean County over at 1,714. Christian County, 5,575. Over in Macoupin County, 1,306. So we have seen a lot going on here, Kevin, and we're getting the numbers to kind of slowly come in over time. But 84,000 throughout the entire state, from central Illinois to the western edge of Illinois too as well. And now on our Danville camera, we're starting to see a little bit of a shake there too. I've noticed the winds have picked up.
I'll tell you this, our Danville camera is actually one of our most secured cameras. It doesn't shake a whole lot, and it's bouncing a bit. You can also see the trees there. The trees are, so literally that squall line coming right in to Danville right now, where our camera is located in the downtown area. So we're gonna watch that. You can see some of the trees over there. We'll see how long that the camera is going to stay with us. Just an update there to that. That lightning strike that we caught was near the Round Barn Center there off of Springfield and Mattis, where it possibly hit a transformer there. We'll try to effort that video here, but this is happening in Danville right now. You can see the winds really strong in the Vermilion County area. Look at that. You can even see leaves I just saw some leaves come flying across the screen here. This is going to be probably the worst of the winds over the next 2 minutes. So we'll just stay on our camera here to watch this storm, because you're going to have some views here. Look at those trees that are really getting just hammered by these probably 70 mile an hour winds. We'll see what the report was at the Danville airport here after this line rolls through. But a really strong thunderstorm there, severe thunderstorm warnings. And I'm just going to run down some of the cities here. It's coming into Georgetown and Westville as we speak. It's coming into Bismarck. And you can see there, Adam's got a pretty good view here of the line of storms, and we'll let him kind of show that wind gust there. Go ahead, Adam.
You know, we had those nice visuals there in Danville there that you noticed, Kevin, you were mentioning, and Danville's right on the edge, them and Westville going southward as well to Georgetown, right on the edge of that Boeing structure here. A little bit more of the stronger winds coming through right behind it. So no surprise, we really saw that camera. As we mentioned, it's one of our more secure cameras, start to shake a little bit and continue to see leaves blowing, a little bit more shaking, more precipitation on it as well. That's all starting to really get close to the state line there, getting into Vermilion County now. In Indiana, too, they have a severe thunderstorm warning going in, including Highland and Terre Haute as well. And that's not in our viewing area, but it's a widespread one as well. It doesn't have the same tag as the one in Vermilion County in Illinois or the one in Champaign had earlier on as well. But, I mean, you can see all the way from there in Ford County and Livingston County, they're still seeing some of the stronger winds, too, as well. But just a really big bow stretching all the way from Casey, the edge of that in Danville, and I think now Georgetown in the brunt of it right now, and even parts of Westville too. Hume now under the gusty winds too, and kind of the maw there of this storm as it pushes on through. So Kevin, back to you.
Yeah. All right, so we've got some more pictures coming into us. Sometimes the damage just comes right to you. If you're Brett Barron's, that's Brett's backyard there, and you can see he's got a nice big tree limb down in his backyard. He just sent that one over to us, snapped off. Again, Mahomet, kind of known, especially I know in the neighborhood that both Brett and myself live in, we got a lot of trees where we are, and so anytime we get a storm to come through, there's sometimes some tree limbs that come down, and looks like he's had some damage there. Also, just got a report from our own Amanda Brennan. Love all the reports coming into us here from our team members from all across the area. Amanda's up in Paxton. She's got power lines down at on Pell Street in Paxton. So our own Amanda Brennan just reporting that in Paxton. Power lines down there. Brett reporting the power line or the tree limbs down there. I'm getting in some more text here. Information about something in Springfield, maybe that possibly caught fire. We'll have to confirm that, but that came from one of our sales associates that sent over a picture there. You guys might want to check on that. We got
go ahead.
Okay, we got some more pictures we're going to roll through here, and then I'm going to. Okay, so there's another. That's Edison Middle School, just a couple blocks from the station, actually. You can see some trees down there in the backyard and near Edison Middle School. These are just going to be so common, I think, from across the area. So many trees, power lines down, power outages are just all over the place. The leading edge of this continues to move through in Vermilion County right now. Adam has more reports. Adam, go ahead and tell me the reports that are now funneling into you.
Yeah, we get these kind of rapid fire from the National Weather Service here from Neoga, Cumberland County. There at 1:30, multiple large trees, 1 to 2 foot in diameter, snapped there in Neoga, Cumberland County. Urbana, they have at 1:25 report of about 3-inch tree limbs broken. Here's one from St. Joe in Champaign County at about 1:30. 3-inch tree limbs broken, and then Urbana as well, 125, severe damage to trees there. Monticello and Piatt County at 105, many large trees, branches blown down from healthy trees overall. And then we've got multiple trees down on top of homes there in Moultrie County near Dalton City as well at about 1 o'clock. So a lot of these are coming in a little bit later, but we're now getting that information and kind of pushing it forward when we can. There in Macon County, Illinois, about 1250, multiple trees down. We've got a lot of trees down and power lines down. There's just plenty of it here, and no surprise with all those gusty winds. Kevin's been mentioning these are strong, fast winds. We said 80 miles per hour were possible here, and that's more than enough to topple some of these trees here. And we're now seeing that leading edge of storms start to push into Indiana, too. So they have those severe thunderstorm warnings go as well here, Kevin. So it has been a busy afternoon, and we started this right when the noon show started to go, and then all of a sudden we had those tornado warnings, and we started really ramping it up.
Okay, so that's the view in Danville right now. Again, this is some unconfirmed stuff, but I just want the newsroom to call in about this. In Springfield, let's see here. Is that right? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna save that. We'll talk about that later. Just check on some stuff in the Springfield area, see if there's anything going on there as far as any extensive damage or any active situations over there. Let us know if you guys can. So here's our storm again, rolling through Danville as we speak. Let's switch back over to the radar here. And again, I know we're getting in a lot of your photos. We love it. Keep sending those in. Our team in the back is turning those around as quick as we can. But I want to show you what this line looks like and where the storms are right now. They've passed through Effingham, at least the worst part of it. Now coming into Casey and Marshall. Paris right now. That storm is right on top of you and providing the same kind of strong winds with it. Just moved through Chrisman and Georgetown and now going to be crossing over into Indiana in the next, well, it's actually right on the state line right now. And then we stretch back up here into Iroquois County. Actually, the storms up there maybe not as strong, but hey, it's raining Iroquois County. It's raining Ford County. You guys have not had a lot of that. You're actually getting some rain out of this. So some of the stronger stuff here stretches from Bismarck down through Danville to Georgetown Ridge Farm, right there on 150, Chrisman to Paris. And again, this is now coming into Martinsville and before too long, Marshall. And then I just want to widen the view out. Look behind. Yes, soon that entire line will be clear of the area. Look at this loop. That traversed the area in 2 hours. That's a 2-hour loop. We take you back to 11:48 a.m. as that was coming into Morgan, Cass counties at 11:48 a.m. 2 hours later, that line is on the state line of Indiana here. So such a fast-moving storm, an explosion of storms with numerous reports of trees down and power lines down as well. And so now we're getting this through about the last quarter of our viewing area, and then we'll have a break. But I got to tell you, there are more storms in the forecast the next few days. Got to get through this one here, and we're going to get you through this one first and then talk about what's to come, because things are still ramping up here. Now, this is going to be transitioning over to our news team is going to take over a lot of coverage. So they're going to have all the reports of power outages, of the trees down, power lines down, and whatever else that we haven't even heard about yet, because, again, so much of this information kind of comes in. You know, it kind of lags behind, obviously, the storm as people go out and assess the damage. We're going to have full reports from all across the area of exactly how extensive some of this damage has been here tonight. But again, right now, we still focus in on Clark County into Edgar County, eastern portions of Vermilion County, where that storm is still really intense with that. We have had some reports out there, you know, some funnel clouds and maybe some brief touchdowns of tornadoes. But I want to tell you this as well, and I know that a lot of the power companies, they urge this to people, and that is you have to treat a downed power line as if it is a live line. Don't approach those. Don't even get close to them, okay? There's water around. That current can travel. If there's a downed power line, you have to treat it as a live line. It's active, okay? It's charged, and you don't want to be in connection with that and complete that circuit. So stay away from the power lines, okay, folks? Call your power company, let them know. They'll come take care of it here. But I got a feeling they're going to be super busy as well. And I got a feeling some people may not be without power for a little bit, okay? And so we're going to have to, exercise some patience here. I know the power crews are going to do everything they can to get power back on. But there's a lot of people that have been hit here. More pictures rolling into us. That's going to be in Urbana. That's Elm Street there in Urbana. A lot of trees in Urbana. I think that there are going to be quite a few images of this with trees down. That is in Urbana. Newest image coming into us here just about 5 minutes ago. It looks like a fairly decent tree down there on Elm Street. And if you've drove through Urbana, you know how beautiful it is with all the trees there. They're proud of all the trees in the city there. And there's a lot of them. But when storms come through, unfortunately, they take the brunt of it a lot of times because there is so much of that in the area. So there's our line of storms racing off to the east. We've got crews all over the place that are tracking this for us. Jacob's been out in the storm tracker there. Have we had an update with him? I know he was trying to catch the trying to catch the semi there, but he's stuck in traffic himself. So there's Jacob there. So there's his view. You can see him. He's stuck on I-57. He's coming back down southbound there because that's where that semi was rolled over. I believe was that at Curtis Road was the report there, I believe is where it was. And so we're going to see how close he can get here in just a little bit and check back in with him. I know we're getting a lot of those pictures coming in on our Facebook page, coming into our email, news@wcia.com. You can send those over to us as well. I'm just checking some other text messages here. Got Amanda Brennan again, says that when she tries to call into Georgetown, they don't go through, assuming that they're out of power. A lot of power out down in the Springfield area. And let's see, I just got a picture from Ryan Springer and Prospect Avenue. There's a power, or it's a traffic light that's been taken out. It's hanging down there. So I'll try to get that picture. I'm gonna send that picture to news@wcia.com, and hopefully you guys back there can get that on the air for me. Let's take a look at more tree damage in Mahomet. There we go. Let's see there. Yeah, so those trees down in Mahomet, as you can see there, and I'll have to tap into to my cameras at home and see if we gotten in the old lighty backyard back there. We've got some trees where I live too, and I tell you, well, actually, I think I don't have power. I don't even have power at my house in Mahomet, according to, no power at my house. So that's in Mahomet, no power there. We've got more pictures that are coming in to us here, and we're going to be showing those for you.
Kevin, we had just a report from Madison Cheney, one of our producers.
Okay, just hold on one second. So this picture, Ryan Springer, that's Prospect. I can't quite tell. I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to walk up to the screen look a little bit closer. That's the shoe carnival. That's up there. So that's one of the stoplights. Look, that's a stoplight. That's not. Where's the other part of the stoplight? I don't know. It must have fell and might have moved it. But you can see that's power out in Champaign. There, as you can see, power lines, stoplights, trees, anything down. Adam, what were you saying there? Go ahead.
Our producer, Madison Cheney, who does the morning shows here at WCIA and WCIX, he said that he got a call from Ameren saying that his place was going to be out of power for a while now. Sounds like he said indefinite, but it looks like they're going to be down there as well. So apartments also probably losing power, and he lives here in Champaign or Urbana too as well. So I'm not assuming that he's not the only one that's going to have power issues too as well. I'm trying to get some pictures there from some friends and family that are sending in pictures as we speak too. It looks like we got a really nice shelf cloud there, possibly from Georgetown. I'm trying to send to the newsroom here, and also we got some from Mahomet as well. I don't live too far down the street either from those guys, and we've got some branches too in our yard. And my roommate said that we had one branch down, and 5 more fell after he took the picture. So it's been very no surprises there with those strong winds we've seen moving through the area today, guys. That we've just had all these reports, and we love that you guys are sending more reports this way. We appreciate it, and we would love to see more of them as well. Keep sending us stuff because we'll use it, and it gives us a good idea of how these storms interacted with each other and how they interacted with our area. All
right, storms now moving into Indiana. Mom, Dad, over in Veedersburg, you guys want to take shelter over there. That storm's on top of you. It's over into Covington right now as well. The storm's now exiting eastern Vermilion County, at least the strongest part of it. Still rocking pretty good in Paris, down to Vermilion there, coming into eastern portions of Clark County. Marshall, now that storm's on top of you. You may even have some hail in that storm. Martinsville, but that's kind of the last edge of this. Is this kind of pushes out of our viewing area. Some more reports coming into us here from Amanda Brennan talking about businesses without power in Springfield, businesses, a lot of lights flickering in Danville. When Ariana Williams says that she's getting reports down in from the Casey's in Charleston, says they're like the only ones with power right now. Maybe they got a generator or something. Gaze, Illinois, completely out of power. Power lines down, roads closed, trees down, all over the place. More pictures. This is going to be down at Eastern Illinois. On campus there, you can see, look at the trees. That tree, I don't know if that was just a dead tree, but there's like no leaves on that on that tree down there, as you can see. Yeah, you can see the storms there that came through, trees down, Eastern Illinois campus as the storms came through, and still, listen, the storms have kind of left Charleston and the Mattoon area in Coles County. It's still kind of raining in a few spots, but the cleanup is just starting.
We've got a lot of reports there from the National Weather Service coming in from Vermilion County, Edgar County as well, Kevin. Paris, power lines are down at 148 there. Seidel in Vermilion County, their trees down and power lines down. So we've got multiple of those. We've already seen pictures of them, but we're getting more reports of that in Oakwood, Seidel, Fairmont there in Vermilion County. Trees and power lines down again. Penfield and Champaign County on the eastern edge of the county. Trees and power lines down. Brockton and Edgar County, trees down, and that's there's plenty more here. Allerton there in Vermilion County, that is at about extensive tree damage reports out there. So we're seeing plenty of it. Northwest of Homer there, they've got about numerous trees down near Homer Lake too. So there's plenty of spots here to find some of these, and we've been getting a lot of them in. I mean, we've just been going through a slew of reports, and Kevin's been showing the pictures as well here. There's one report here from Farmers City in DeWitt County there at 105. Trees blown down on homes, causing damage to structure. Wind also blew shingles off of houses as well. And these are all just coming in from the National Weather Service, just kind of coming through here and just kind of machine gunning through here. So we're getting a lot of them at a time. 4-inch diameter tree limb down off of a healthy tree west of Millikan University. They're at about 1250 in Decatur and Macon County. So these are some of the spots. If in the newsroom they want to make those calls, those would be some spots to look out for too. Vermilion County. Homer Lake was the one that kind of interested me a lot too, and there's plenty of spots there too. DeWitt County now getting some more from Farmers City, and Decatur and Macon County as well. Kevin, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot here. We're continuing to get in a lot of reports of damage. Okay, they are coming in real hot to us here. We're also getting a lot of reports of some issues along the interstate, along I-57. What I'm efforting to do, just bear with me here for a second, and I'm going to pull up essentially it's the traffic map for I-57 here. And if you guys can take that photo so people can kind of see it a little bit better. And so that's Humboldt right there. Any of you can see down here the little legend, the darker red you get, the worse the traffic is. If you've ever used like the Google Maps before on your phone, you know what I'm talking about here. So multiple accidents. We're talking about a lot of semis that have been flipped over on I-57. You can see a stretch there near Humboldt, and then there's some more near Arcola, really slowed down. There's some more near Tuscola on those curves right there. Looks like traffic has really slowed down. And of course, near Pasodum. And I think this is going to be kind of near the area where the accident is there on I-57 southbound that we talked about earlier. So there are many stretches along 57 and that are down. And we've got Jacob out there. Jacob, you've been trying to approach that I-57 semi-accident there. What's your location right now exactly on 57?
Yeah, so Kevin, if you're familiar with the Norfolk Southern Bridge there, this is actually a little farther south of Curtis Road. It's south of Monticello Road, just before the rest area. What we've got is, we haven't really moved much at all here. And on my left, we've had several state troopers, and we've seen an ambulance that's been heading down here. Traffic has pretty much been stopped for a duration of the time. So behind me here, state troopers are even struggling to get on scene to this particular site. It makes sense if the wind here would have blown perpendicular to the road, that would have caught the side of semis, caught the side of vehicles, and would have caused some issues out there. I'm not sure, you can't really see much in my rear camera yet, but I can see them coming behind me here. So would advise avoiding I-57 southbound Monticello Road. Probably a good idea to get off there, take 45 to Pasodum as we continue to try and slowly creep our way forward here. Not exactly sure what's going on. It appears that there have been some ambulance crews, police for sure, and up ahead of me I may have seen some fire trucks that have also been trying to sneak onto the scene. So we're going to continue to watch things and keep an eye on it here. We'll pull the rear camera. Maybe you'll see them sneak. They're struggling to get to the scene, Kevin. There's so much traffic that's out here. So we will let you know if anything happens. And in a minute here, once he's able to get by, we'll give you a view of what's going on. So we will go ahead and send it back to you in the studio on I-57 southbound near the Pasodum, north of Pasodum there. Back to you, Kevin.
Yeah, so I think so. If I'm just using this, we're just using some, some common sense and some deductive reasoning from this. If we look at the view from that traffic map again, where it's got the slowed down traffic, just for you guys, so you can see this area right here. That's going to show you where that crash is, and so that's going to be just west of Tolono, is where that is actually showing up on I-57. So there's Willard Airport, of course, and Airport Road there, and so then you get down here, and you can see right there. So Jacob's got police cars coming by there, as you can see. Again, they're trying to, they got to drive on the shoulder to kind of come through. So that's going to be where this huge slowdown is, southbound 57 there. And it looks like, again, Jacob was showing us, vehicles are not moving. That could be a semi that's, over the interstate where traffic cannot get by. But we've heard multiple reports all along 57, and as that line came through, you can see some other ones down here near Tuscola. And boy, you just imagine if you're traveling, the curves are on 57 right there just south of Tuscola. If the winds come across there, just broadside like that, that could, those are easily going to topple over more of those high profile vehicles. That's the camera view. Back over here in Champaign, obviously things a lot calmer than what they were, but I guarantee you there's going to be quite a few trees down. I'm just going to take you through some of our camera views. We'll take you back over to Danville, and you can see there things calming down a little bit, actually quite a bit from what it was a little bit earlier. Let's look at Decatur now, and there's Decatur, okay. Had some damage reports over there, several trees and power lines down. Let's take you to Mattoon, see if we can pull up our camera there, and it's struggling a little bit. I think they got hit pretty good. There's our Mattoon camera there, at least a brief snapshot there of things. Back over to Charleston. That camera is frozen. That was from earlier, so our camera's frozen there. We must have taken a hit there in Charleston. And then also our camera in Springfield will come back over and show you the view there of the Capitol, and even the sun trying to come back out because it's only 2 o'clock, and the camera went away there. Obviously, fluctuations and kind of what's happening with the electrical systems right now. Power outages are all over the place. Here in just a little bit, Adam's going to give us another update on the numbers. New numbers coming into us of power outages here. I just want to show you where the storms are now. Because they are going to be exiting out of Clark County here before too long. Just moved through Walnut Prairie and Marshall. And so that's going to be kind of the eastern edge of things. Just moved through Paris as well. Sorry, I'm just reading some text here coming in. Just got a bunch of pictures in from our photographer, Tony. We'll effort those here in a little bit. I don't know where those are exactly at, probably here in Champaign-Urbana area. But we have just a ton of reports of damage. Let's see what else we got here. St. Joseph, is this right? Oh no, his name was Joseph. Catlin, semi flipped over on its side on 74. So another semi flipped over on I-74 near Catlin. And so that's going to be there east of Oakwood. And actually I can view that one as well when I switch things back over to that traffic map. And so another semi down. This is going to be, so that's the Oakwood exit right here. And it looks like an accident right here. So Catlin's down, so just north of Catlin, Oakwood. Another semi flipped over on I-74. Adam?
Do you want these power outage numbers there?
Yeah, go ahead and give me the power outage.
Let's give a kind of a rough estimate of what's going on here. Champaign County, 8,773. We go to Vermilion County, 46. I'm assuming that's going to change over time. Edgar County at 6. We've got Clark at 4. And we've got Crawford at 1 here right now. We do have Cumberland there at 137. Coles, 798. 3,678 there in Douglas County. Champaign, we've already talked about Champaign. Piatt at 376. McLean County at 1,831. Some spots that haven't had too many there. Ford County at 27. Livingston at 0. 1 in Iroquois County. Let's go to Logan County, 2,919 there in Logan County. Sangamon County at 2,837. Christian at 5,671. Shelby at 1,460 here. Fayette at 235 there. Macoupin County, 1,773. Sangamon County, 12,837. Menard County, 674. Cass County at 746. Morgan County at 6,774. So we have seen plenty of them here. We're going to continue to get more reports as we go forward in time. 9,415 total reports there for the entire state. And you can see where the storms have been. And I'm assuming those numbers are going to keep going up as we go forward there, Kevin.
So, yeah, you can see that. You can see there's Moultrie County there. I mean, the red and orange counties are going to be kind of the most that we've got here, but you also keep in mind some of the counties are obviously more populated than others, so we take that into account. But, listen, almost 13,000 in Sangamon County without power there, as Adam was just mentioning here. So we are at 2:07. We're watching the last little bit of line of storms exit the area. Looks like now south of I-70, those storms pushing through Effingham County, Jasper County, coming through there in the Robinson area. Really strong storm, the same thing that so many of us have seen here tonight. Is that video from, I see some video there, is that 57? There's some photos here. This is 57 there at, okay, near Potomac. Okay, this is 57. This is going to be near Potomac, so it's going to be a little bit north. Look at the lightning strike there. You can see the lightning that's up there as well as that storm came through. You're saying that's on 57, I'm told there. Okay, so there you go. So I-74 and I-57 both have had reports of semis rolled over, and you can see the pictures there that we're giving to you. Of just that. Again, so many places here have been impacted by the storms tonight. But the good news is we are seeing this entire line now start to push out of our area into Indiana. And we're going to be done with this for the time being. But there are more storms that are heading in our direction. So here in just a little bit, we are going to be sending it back to our regular program just a little bit. But I want to do kind of a little bit of a recap here of things. If there are other pictures and things that you guys are still funneling in back there, guys, you guys can keep delivering. As long as we've got content and things to show people, we're going to do that for you. Here's another picture. Looks like wow, that's Mahomet. Timberview and State. Oh, that's close to where I live. Look at that power line that is down. So, as I mentioned earlier, I don't have power at my house in Mahomet, and Adam, I don't think you do either. And that is one of the culprits, one of many. I think that is possibly the case. At State and Timberview, that is a power line down in Mahomet. And I think this is duplicated in dozens of cities here this afternoon. Storms raced across starting at noon, and they continue to push out of the area here. And we're going to be done with this for the time being. But another round is set to move in later tomorrow in the morning again. We could have another one on Saturday. So we went from obviously having no rain for months to now a lot of rain here. And I know some of you still need more. This is just a little bit of a taste, but we've got more storms on the way. We're hoping they're not going to be as severe, but there is that potential for that to be the case as well. Just got a message from my dad over in Vetersburg. Parents live over there in Indiana. They don't have any power as the storm. So this whole line is still packing a punch even into Indiana. They've lost power over there. So Fountain County and our friends and family over there dealing with kind of the same thing that we've all dealt with here. Things have calmed down from a wind perspective, obviously, now in about 97% of our entire viewing area. But we have those storms still kind of impacting areas just south of I-70. Here's what I'm going to effort here. I want to pull up all of the different storm reports that have come in to our area. And just bear with me here as I kind of clean up the map a little bit. And we can do a little bit of a recap here. And if you guys get more pictures, feel free to let me know, or video or anything, or reports. Let me know. But what I'm going to do here is just come and we're going to try to show you all of these different reports. Okay, and so look at how many different reports there are. Each one of those little dots, and what I'll do here to kind of clean it up is take the radar off, and each one of these is going to be some kind of report of damage, of a wind gust that has occurred. And so what we'll do here is just kind of do a little bit of a recap of some of these different reports as they come in. And so here's a report here, power lines down South Mattis Avenue, from thunderstorm there. We showed you some pictures of a traffic light that was down there. There's Urbana, reports of 3-inch tree limbs down. Okay, we're going with that? Is that 100? Part of the roof at Willard Airport has come off. Part of the roof at Willard, all flights are canceled out of Willard. Part of the roof at Willard Airport. Can he send us a picture? That is significant if that occurred. Yeah, work on pictures, video. The roof that's coming from one of our reporters, Will Simmons, who is out there, that part of the roof off. They had a 62 mile per hour gust, but all flights out of Willard Airport are canceled. That is a stunning report there. We are going to try to get those images here. We're going to stick with you because that's a pretty significant report here that just came into us. If part of the Willard Airport roof, I don't know how much that is. Very little information right now. I was going to go through some of these other reports. Then we'll come back to Adam in just a second. That's Monticello. A lot of tree limbs, branches blown down from healthy trees. Adam, what do you have over there? Just came in.
Yeah. So at about 1:50, they got a report there from the National Weather Service from Vermilion Regional. Their intersection of Michigan and Winter blocked by downed trees. Camp Drake, southeast of Oakwood, multiple trees down on buildings. Supposedly people are trapped inside. Crews are heading that way. That's from the emergency manager right there. And then we've got a slew more coming through here. It's hard to keep up. Taylorville, emergency manager reports thunderstorm wind damage at 12:35. Emergency manager reports trees through houses across northeastern third of Christian County. 2 barns were also destroyed. Again, that's coming from the National Weather Service, relayed from the emergency manager as well. There in Logan County, tree fell onto residents, causing significant damage. Warrensburg and Macon County there at 12:45, multiple trees down. We have a lot of these tree down reports there. We've got them there in Campus Town here in Urbana. Oakwood, again, that same one we were talking about with people inside potentially trapped at 1:40. There in Oakwood and Vermilion County. Danville, Memorial Bridge on Route 1, blocked by downed trees in Vermilion County on Danville, 1 mile south-southwest. Georgetown, multiple trees down on homes. Can confirm that there's been a lot of activity down towards Oakwood and there in Georgetown as well. My cousin said he got walloped by wind. Trees down in Tilton too. Let's see, we've got some more there from Vermilion Regional there from law enforcement. Trees fell on vehicle, no injuries. That's good news. And Henning there in Vermilion County, we have at 1:47 some thunderstorm gusts up to 70 miles per hour there. So that's pretty strong, guys. And no surprise that we are seeing a lot of these just kind of repeating reports here across the region. It's going to keep being like this over time as well.
Yeah, so the reports here, Homer, numerous trees down near Homer Lake. Reports of trees down there in St. Joe. This is coming from Jacob, so I'm just gonna go ahead and report what he's saying about a rescue call at St. Joe Elementary. Don't know what that's fully about, if that's weather related, but at St. Joe. He thinks that possibly there's a Boy Scout camp going on or something. So not 100% on that right now, but he's efforting to find out some information. Look at this. All of these icons are wind damage reports or wind gust reports or hail reports. Look at all those. There's so many of them. Look at how many places have been damaged by the storms today, stretching all the way back to Jacksonville. Okay, so that is just how extensive this has been. Every single one of those here. We've got more video. I think we got more. Seth has got something here. If you got Seth, go ahead.
You were talking about that camp a second ago that Jacob mentioned. I do see something on the reports here. Emergency management did report that there are multiple trees down in a building and people are trapped inside with emergency crews responding to it. So I believe that is the camp he was referring to.
That was the one we were both referring to earlier.
Gotcha.
That's the one that Jacob was talking about.
Okay, perfect. I want to show you some new video into us, and go ahead and narrate that for me again, guys, in the back. This is going to be in Danville, I think, right? Watch this trailer. Watch this trailer. Watch this. Look at the winds. Guess what's going to happen? Yeah, you guessed it. There it
Wow.
goes. Boom.
Wow.
Oh, wow. And lands on top of some of the cars. Look at that. Wow. Do we know where that was at? Okay, not. So we know it's in Danville. Toyota of Danville. Oh, my goodness. Toyota of Danville. Here, let's watch it again. We'll replay it for you. Look at that. Winds get underneath that and flip it over, and boom.
Oh my goodness.
Onto some of the vehicles there. Toyota of Danville, we're told there of that, and wow.
Wow.
Let's run it back one more time and just watch this, guys. Look at that thing. That's what the winds are doing. Was that a tire that even flew off? That is wild stuff. That's what we dealt with here this afternoon, and in many areas. As I keep saying, we're scratching the surface of the full extent of damage. We don't know everything yet because people are just going out and assessing this. These storms just moved out of Danville 20 minutes ago. So I anticipate more of these reports coming into us here. And we're going to have, obviously, a full recap of everything coming up. We have so many photos that continue to come into us here that you guys have sent over to us that we appreciate a lot, whether it's on our Facebook account or news at WCIA.com. And trees down on homes. There are power lines down all over the place. I stress again, you're going to have some patience for that power to come back. Crews are all over the place, and I know they're out there. I'm sure they're, all hands on deck kind of thing. If there are power lines down, you got to treat them as if those are live lines. Do not go up to those. Let the power company know. They'll come and fix that as quick as they can. But I have a feeling that we're going to have reports in nearly every county of some kind of damage out there. Let's show some more pictures in Homer as the storm came through in the Homer area. Look at that. That's a big tree there. And we were just going to cycle through some of these photos. And, I know some people, you look at some of the trees and you go, well, it's kind of, that tree's a little bit rotted. And yeah, that's always going to be the case to some extent. But these are some large trees that are coming down. You can see there some of the limbs on top of houses. Again, this is in the Homer area. Photos that came into us, those large tree limbs down. And look, you can just see the power lines that those are close to. Obviously a lot of the, the towns and what we, especially the smaller towns, the power lines are still, up in the air. They're not buried underground like they are in some of the bigger cities. And so you can see when those tree limbs come down, they're going to stand a pretty good chance to be near a power line. And that's why we have so many of those power outages that continue to come streaming into us here as we go throughout the course of this afternoon. In the warnings themselves, about to clear the entire area from west to east, and so you can see just that little bit there down south of I-70, but we are seeing a break from this. Unfortunately, more storms are going to be on the way. If we have any other reports from reporters, did we get anything from Will there at the Willard Airport? I would love to see. Okay, I haven't heard back from Will. And there was a report earlier from Will Simmons, reported there at Willard Airport, that all flights are canceled. Part of the roof has been damaged out there. Don't know to what extent, but they have canceled so flights there. So if you have flights that were supposed to go out of Willard here this afternoon or this evening, sounds like they have taken some kind of a structural hit there due to the strong winds, and will be having to repair those obviously before they're back up in operation once again. You guys getting any other additional things coming in over to you?
We're just getting more reports, more pictures coming in through our email, and we're just sussing them out through as well. I'm sending some of my reports out there, and one of our reporters, Jamal Williams, is looking for some people to talk to there in Mahomet. So if you're in Mahomet and you see Jamal, feel free to talk about what's happened today. He's looking for people to talk with. If you want some numbers for power outages, Kevin, I can give you that real quick. Right there in Vermilion County, 12,990 there in Vermilion County. Edgar at 3,806. Clark County 833, Jasper County at 161, Cumberland 670, Effingham 67, Coles County 4,320, Douglas 4,036, Champaign County 20,084. As we go to Ford County 34, 1 in Iroquois, 9 there in Livingston County, McLean 2,512. DeWitt County, 3,529. Macon County, 15,119. Shelby County, 1,811. And Fayette County, 377. Christian, 6,014. As we go into Montgomery, 714. Macoupin County, 2,028. Sangamon County, 11,855. Logan County, 3,554. DeWitt, 3,529. Let's go into Menard County, 774. Morgan County, 7,011. And then we've got Cass County, 748. So we have had a myriad of power outages. And for the entire state right now, 138,087 people, and most of that is through central Illinois, going from the river to the Indiana state line, right through our viewing area as well. So it has been a mess here across much of the middle of the state. So we've had a lot of power outages, and no surprises that we got those numbers. I mean, again, 20,084 there in Champaign County, and in Vermilion, 12,990. That's a lot of people without power throughout those counties, and some of those are our more populous counties too as well. So this has just been a mess here, and now it's starting to finally roll that out of our viewing area. But again, as Kevin has said, we're not done yet with the storm chances. We've got plenty more on the way for the next couple of days.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, Adam. Again, just got another confirmed report about some structural damage at Willard. So our own Will Simmons was there. On the intercom, came over and announced all flights canceled due to some kind of structural damage. Not 100% sure of what that is, but you can actually go to our website, WCIA.com, and as soon as we get more details, obviously that's a huge story, that we'll update those and let you know what's going on there at Willard. But they came on the intercom across the whole airport. Will was there and he heard it himself, and they said, flights canceled there. So Willard Airport currently closed because of some storm damage there, supposedly. We'll have more details on that coming up as well. Getting reports in of Farmer City, some significant damage up there as well. What I'm going to do is here, we've got some of you, Andrew Pritchard, is a storm chaser, and I don't have his audio. I'm not going to have his audio here, but I can at least play. You're going to see him showing some of the damage there. That's Andrew, and this is in Farmer City, and you can see trees down there. He says there's a lot of damage there in the Farmer City area. You can see the trees down. He says, and he was probably chasing the storm, he says there's an apparent rotation. He thinks potentially this could have been a brief little spin-up tornado that occurred. Again, Andrew over there, and I just wanted to show you that because he's a good storm chaser that often brings very good information. And so he's in the Farmer City area. We haven't had a ton of reports out of there, so he was showing us some of the damage that's up there. And so possibly from a tornado. Here's the thing. It'll be really hard to kind of go back and assess, okay, was this a spin-up tornado? Was the damage? Was this from straight line winds? It'll be difficult to exactly come up with that, but does it really matter? You had damage from the storm here, and those reports continue to just come flooding into the newsroom here. If you guys don't have anything else back there in the control room, I don't know if you're efforting any last minute things. If you don't, we're going to wrap up our coverage here on TV. And what we're going to do is, we've had a lot of you watching our streams here online, and so what we'll do is we'll keep that stream going, and then if any other information kind of comes along to us, we can pop on there. We're just going to keep the stream going, have the radar up, and you guys can kind of just, if you need to hang out, because I know a lot of you don't have power. Okay, and so maybe the only way you're watching us is through the Facebook streams, through our news and weather apps. So we'll keep it going, and then we'll pop on there and let you know any other reports or any other big breaking news. If you do have your phone that's powered up here, WCIA.com. We're going to have stories posted on there, on the news app as well, and update you throughout the course of this afternoon. And of course, as many reports as we can coming up during the newscast at 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. as well. So we hope that you'll stick around here and join us for that as we try to recap and try to assess just what all kind of took place here. But it sounds like we're going to have 100 reports of wind damage, power lines down and whatnot here. All right, guys, we will wrap up our coverage for now. Stick with us, stay safe out there, and we'll keep you up to date on any other breaking news and weather, and of course throughout the newscast later on tonight. All right, guys, have a good one, and we'll see you later.
I hope he didn't